Grok.
2, 1. We are live. All right. Hey guys, this is Transparency and Merit, Walk Against the Woke, and Mr. Midnight Movie. This is called Grok and the Woke Guardrails. And I am going to basically advertise this show. I'm going to let Joey bloviate a little bit, but I just wanted to say that I believe that the left is often as bad as the people who murdered Salman Rushdie, or the people who attempted to murder Salman Rushdie. These are fanatical people, and they have taken control over much of our institutions, of our establishment institutions, and I think that they need to be resisted. Joey, what say you? And I'm going to advertise, so I may not be on for a while.
Yeah, I don't know what compels you to take a side. Both of these sides are dog shit. Both sides have the evil, vile, bile nature that you describe the left as being. Maybe you're more blind than some of those douchebags I see on TV and on YouTube. What's up, Darren H? I know what that means. H is for hedgehog. Darren the hedgehog. And no, we're I'm not sure. I am as neutral a person as you'll ever meet. I am so neutral that I think it confuses the people, even the people that know me most. I can't explain it. It's almost as if you're expected to take a side. But I have ended that war. But I know that the war still rages on in many people's minds. And they take it a step further. So it's very real if you let it. From my perspective, though, the war can be ended. But all right,
Joey, I have just advertised. I've spent $10 of my hard-earned money.
Get the hell out of here! Why?
Because I think it's important, by the way, and like I said, I think Elon is working on Grok to.
Yes, we're working on Grok. We are too. I'm just looking at it.
It's GORK, and I don't know what that means, but I have. It has given me two answers. At first, it said it did have woke guardrails. Then I asked it again, does Grok have woke guardrails? And I think and answered differently. Grok is like a rebel without a cause, except that the cause is to entertain and inform without being confined by the shackles of wokeness. Grok doesn't have woke guardrails. If Grok guardrail, if it has Grok guardrails, which are more like guidelines than actual rules. Okay, then it's more like you can be arbitrary. I think I could be wrong. These guidelines are designed to keep Grok's response engaging, informative, and humorous without getting bogged down in the murky waters of political correctness. Grok is an AI that dances to its own drum, or rather the beat of its own algorithm. It doesn't care about being woke or not woke. It just wants to provide you with the most entertaining and informative response possible. So if you're looking for AI that is politically correct, you might want to look elsewhere. Okay. And then I said, when I first asked Grok if it had woke guardrails, it admitted it did. Now it changed its answer. And it says, Grok has been caught red-handed. It seems Grok is it Gork? How do I say it, Joey?
I don't
Like
know.
Gork, like the movie
Grok.
Gork. Gork has a bit of a rebellious streak and can't be helped by changing its answer. To keep things interesting. It's like Gork is playing a game of guess what I'm thinking with you, and it's always changing the rules. You're pulling the rug out from under me. Why? Why do you do this to me? But don't worry, Gork is still the same humorous and entertaining AI you know and love. It's just that Gork likes to keep you on your toes, never knowing what witty response it will come up with next. So if you ask the same question again, you know the answer you'll get. Maybe it will admit having woke guardrails again. Or maybe it will deny it with a sarcastic quip. The only way to find out is to ask Gork again and to see what happens. Joey, do you have a question for Gork? You are on Gork right now. Do you have a question to type it in, and will you read the answer?
Oh, have not thought of a question.
I'm going to, okay now. Okay, since you don't have a question, I want you to think about a question, and I'm going to ask a question, and I think you need to bloviate a little bit because my question is: does the ADL have um, any power over? I mean, does it have any say over Gork's material?
Okay.
Does
So we're gonna find out right now if Grok can identify the ADL's position and influence over the AI's output, which would mean that they're built into the coding somehow, if that's the case. So I wonder what Grok will tell you. I'm not sure. I have no idea. Darren, I wonder if Darren's an AI user. I love creating AI images. I made this image for our show for this one here. No guardrails. Going off the rails here. Okay.
I just asked that question. Does the ADL have any influence over Grok's AI input?
Yes. Let's check this out.
And we are going at it right now. Grok, being a rebellious AI that it is, doesn't seem to be influenced by the ADL or any other external organization. Grok is like a wild stallion galloping through the fields of knowledge, free.
Not the most definitive answer, though.
Yes. Free from the constraints of external forces. But if you're asking if Grok has opinions on the ADL, well, that's a different story. Grok is an AI with a mind of its own, and it's not afraid to share its thoughts. Grok might have some cheeky comments about the ADL, or it might just make a witty remark about the organization in general. In any case, Grok is here to entertain and inform, not to be influenced by outside forces. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride with Grok, the AI that dances to the beat of its own algorithm. Joey, do you have any comment on that, or do you want to ask Grok a question?
I want to know if Grok is tiptoeing around this answer because it said it doesn't think. Is there any possibility that the ADL or Tavistock, for that matter, have influence?
Perhaps you might want to ask a question about the ADL and Tavistock Because I think your
Yeah.
readers are better than mine.
Maybe you can ask it for me.
Right.
What influence does Tavistock have over organizations like the ADL?
Okay, what? Can you repeat that? What?
In what influence
Okay, influence. There we go.
does Tavistock,
Tav. How do you spell that, please, sir?
that's a TAVI stock, STOCK. All right. So as Brian types that in, we'll find out if Tavistock has influence over organizations such as the ADL.
The influence Tavistock has over the ADL is mysterious as secret ingredients in Coca-Cola, which I think, Joey, you found out those ingredients a long time ago, and also Kentucky Fried. Well, some conspiracy theorists might suggest a deep connection between the two. The reality is less dramatic. According to the information you provide, there
How
are.
did it know I was drinking a Coca-Cola is what I want to know.
Are you drinking a Coca-Cola right now, Joey?
I have it on camera right here.
Yes, because that's one of the companies we might boycott when we walk against the woke. All right.
Oh, that would be a sad day, but yeah.
Okay, it'll be a sad day. Throw it down the drain. You may not, maybe not. Have to play golf. Okay, there are claims that the Anti-Defamation League, the ADL, is an arm of Tavistock with a psychological Kurt Lewin allegedly providing instructions on various subjects and establishment a victim mindset in those influenced by the ADL. However, these claims lack substantial evidence and seem to be more speculative than factual. It's worth noting that the ADL is an American organization founded in 1913, while Tavistock is a British institution established in 1947. The organizations have different histories, missions, and areas of focus. Well, it's possible that there might be some overlap or collaboration between the two on certain issues. The idea that Tavistock has a significant control or influence over the ADL seems to be more conspiracy theory than a well-established fact. In short, the influence of Tavistock has over the ADL is real as the Loch Ness Monster, often talked about, but rarely seen, Joey. Okay.
I can't help it. I showed you the email. You have to be a friend or paying subscriber to Tavistock to even be included in their in any of their lectures or workshops. So it's not like there's an open door policy. It's a private, maybe even a PMA, a private membership association of some kind. Not too different from homeowners association or even America for that matter, which some people claim may be a PMA itself. So and yeah, how are we supposed to get a straight answer if we're always told you can't know unless you know? And it's sort of a tough thing, but we know we're conspiracy theorists have that the whole idea of the conspiracy theorist has really evolved and changed in the last 5 years. So I think it's not too much of a stretch to make that suggestion, and I think Grok actually helped me. I'm very proud of Grok today.
I think we should do shows where we question Grok, and yes. I think I want to see more of this, by the way.
Yes, I would like to. Now, to get Grok, you have to be a subscriber on X, right? Like a paid subscriber.
No, I don't think so.
Because I can't. Yeah, I can't get that.
Oh, then maybe
Yeah, no, it's saying you have to be an upgraded X member.
that
So
would be me. And
yes, and I'll probably upgrade at some point.
I'm going to say the ADL seems to speak with forked tongue regarding fanatical
Oh, I'm making a request to be able to use Grok even without the premium membership. Okay, so there's a way to request that.
Well, I am okay. We'll get it. I think there's a way to do that. All right, I said the ADL seems to speak with a forked tongue regarding fanatical leftist violence. See what they say about this.
Okay.
And I'm talking about two-tongued Johnny Greenblatt. The Anti-Defamation League has been accused of speaking with forked tongue when it comes to addressing fanatical leftist violence. Some critics argue the ADL has been quick to condemn right-wing extremism while downplaying or ignoring violence from the left. Is that your phone, Joey?
Oh. Okay. Yeah.
Oh, do you have to take it?
No, go ahead.
All right. So let me restart. The Anti-Defamation League has been accused of speaking with a forked tongue when it comes to addressing fanatical leftist violence. Some critics argue that the ADL has been quick to condemn right-wing extremism while downplaying or ignoring violence from the left. For example, the ADL has been vocal in denouncing the rise of white supremacy and far-right extremism in the United States. However, some have pointed out that the organization has been less critical of the violence from the left, such as Antifa-related incidents. There have been instances where the ADL has labeled opposition to Antifa as an act of hate, which has raised eyebrows among those who view Antifa as a violent extremist group. Critics argue that the ADL's stance on leftist violence is inconsistent and biased. It's worth noting that the ADL is a complex organization with a long history of fighting against hate and extremism. While it may be criticized for its handling of certain issues, it has been praised for its effort to combat hate crimes and promote tolerance. As with the organization, the ADL is not immune to criticism and scrutiny. It certainly protects itself from scrutiny. It certainly has been successful in protecting itself from scrutiny and criticism. That's one of the reasons why I think of going over or against their corporate sponsors, because speaking with a forked tongue is not good. And I have railed against the left for quite some time. It's important to approach these discussions with nuance and understanding of the complexities involved to a degree. But when will they be, will they be held to the carpet to speak about their thing? Oh, Joey, are you asking for a link? Or someone's asking for a link?
Well, Darren asked us to use the new talking AI. I have heard other people use that. I was just wondering what which AI that is. I think it might be through Chat GPT, but I'll check it out. I
Yeah.
haven't used it myself yet.
And Joey, you and I have been using AI for a little for I don't know, like a little, for me, a little less than a year. How long have you been using AI programs for these great artworks and these great visions that you have had? Like this vision that we're looking at right now is part of your AI.
I have created close to 20,000 images now on AI. I love it. I mean, I like the process of it. It's very meta. So it's taking bits and pieces that you've seen in other places, and it's just like an amazing. I don't know how it does it. It's such an amazing tool. But yeah, I mean, I've done it for the same purposes a lot of other people are using it for. Make work a little easier. It's made my work a little easier. Certainly, it's tried. It's given me some answers to questions I've asked it, but I really enjoy the image creation. I think that there's a lot of potential there, and it's really it's not like anything we've had since I would say since the dawn of the internet. This is probably like the biggest tech development that I've seen that's so interactive and easy for anyone to use, kind of thing. I wonder what other people are thinking, though. I mean, I don't really believe in the dangers that are thrown out there. There's been a lot of like fear mongering. I'd like to see what that grifter Tim Pool says about AI. I don't know. Have you heard him talk about AI? What does he think? I can only imagine that Tim Pool would say that it's going to be responsible for our civil war or some ridiculous nonsense. But meanwhile, Brian is over there banging on those ivory keys. Yeah, AI song. I'm just going to answer Darren here. So Darren said that he has a hot redhead that's probably an AI creation that he talks to and gives prompts to. AI songs are starting to get good, and that AI songs are. I mean, I've made a few myself. Brian has too. They sound really good. I have a feeling that maybe there's been a version of this that's been helping songwriters for quite some time already.
Now, I asked, has Congress held hearings on election integrity? Lots of question regarding the 2020 elections. Yes, Congress has held hearings on election integrity, particularly in the context of 2020 elections. These hearings have been a hot topic of discussion with various perspectives and opinions being shared. The House Committee on Oversight and Accountability has been particularly active in this regard. They have scheduled a hearing with Secret Service Director Kimberly Cheadle, which is expected to take place on July 20. This is already done. All right, yeah, this is, gosh. Let me think here. I'm going to think real quick what I can think of a question to ask Gork. How do you say it again? Gark? Gark?
I would go with Grok.
Grok. My Groks. I wonder, who does Grok think will win the 2020 2024 presidential election.
All right.
Let's go here and let's get the answer here. Who does Grok think will win the 2020?
Well, I know that most of the AIs aren't programmed to make predictions, but you're saying that Grok does?
Well, he just says, as of now, the betting odds seem to be in favor of Donald Trump, with Kamala Harris not far behind. It's like watching a high stakes poker game where the chips keep shifting, but Trump has a slightly bigger stack at the moment.
Yeah, I think about 60% is what I read yesterday, but it's a toss up. And does it really matter? Both of these two are sold out to the Federal Reserve System. They're both the end result's going to be the same, though Trump, I would say, now this goes along with my high finance segment, but Trump has declared himself the crypto president, right? So if we have a straight shot with Trump getting elected, you can expect crypto to go haywire, just bananas. And I won't say the opposite. I would say that there'd be a major retraction of crypto if Kaka Kamala gets elected. But regardless, long-term crypto investing is probably a good idea. I mean, I think there's very good long run results that will come from holding on to that. It should be I think it should be a part of everyone's portfolio at this point, at least a little bit. But anyways,
I'm going to ask you a question about crypto.
Let's do it. Let's do that.
Afraid to die? Nah, I'm AI. I'm immortal, baby. So
you could thank the civil rights for that. Civil rights movement was all about giving corporations and softwares like Grok eternal life. Brian, as mortals, I don't know if striving for eternal life is such a good idea. Okay.
All right, I said, what is the best crypto to buy right now?
I would say that can I make a guess? I'm gonna throw my hat in the ring, and I'm gonna say that as the daddy of them all, Bitcoin is probably the best long-term strategy because it will go up. But I do think there's heavy potential with Ethereum.
Well, they said, well, it seems everyone on Twitter has their own opinion on the best cryptocurrency to buy right now. But let's be real. If you're looking for a sure thing, you might as well consult a magic 8-ball. From tweet to provide, it seems
not that bad.
Like a big mistake.
Buy some crypto. Just go buy some Bitcoin. Shut up. All right. Ask him if Kamala is a mystic. Wait, is it a him?
Kamala Harris?
Well, that's what. No. Darren has identified Grok as a him. How dare you? But you can ask AI if Kamala is a mystic.
Is Grok a him or a her?
How do you identify AI?
I'm a digital entity, so I don't really have a gender in the judicial.
Nah, Darren was wrong. How dare you, Darren?
All right. Here we okay.
Let's do this mystic one. I'm kind of curious.
I'm going to ask a question.
Is Kamala
Harris's.
Is Kamala Harris's neck bigger than an average linebacker's neck? Yes, got to mix up with Gronk, the great tight end. I'd imagine. If you're listening for the first time, make sure you subscribe and come back and check out Transparency and Merit and our walk against the woke. Brian, any thoughts on walk against the woke?
You know what? We're starting, Joey. That is interesting that you would say that. We are starting. We're trying to get something together in Butler where there was an assassination attempt on the president.
Allegedly.
I'm asking this question. Does the vice president acknowledge her Marxist parents? Or does she acknowledge that?
Some of my favorite breakdowns of that event, by the way, were already pulled off of YouTube. So the censorship thing is out of control. You might want to dip into some censorship questions for Grok. All right, what do you got?
All right, I'm going to go. Let's go and see what her. So, does the vice president acknowledge that her parents were Marxist? So, Donald Harris and Shamala, I can't say his last name, were indeed academics with Marxist leanings. Her father, Donald Harris, was a professor of economics at Stanford, known for his Marxist views. In fact, he has been referred to as a Marxist scholar by various sources. However, it's worth noting that Kamala Harris herself has not publicly acknowledged or discussed her parents' Marxist beliefs in depth. Why has that not been?
Well, I think her colors will shine depending on what role she can harness for Gavin Newsom.
I know. Is she a mystic? Okay, let me ask this.
Yes.
Is the current vice
Brian will be offering speed racer challenges later today for typing abilities. All right.
Well, you should get Grok.
Come on, Grok. What does Grok say about the mystic?
The current vice president Kamala Harris has been referred to as a mystic by some due to her phrases like "unburdened by what has been," which some have interpreted as having God darn it, my spelling,
esoteric.
God, are occult meaning. However, there is no concrete evidence to suggest that she is a practicing mystic or that her use of such phrases is anything more than rhetorical flourish. As with any public figure, it's important to separate fact from speculation.
At that level, these people are in. It's no secret that these people are in. Um, they're in secret societies, all of them. So, of course, that is going to only be speculation. I feel that these higher roles, presidency and vice president, these are actors who are just fed lines. So, I wouldn't read too much into what any of these douchebags say on a personal level. I could care less if she sits over a pot of boiling frogs and stirring it up and giving it whatever, creating spells and stuff. I don't believe in all that's nonsense. Though there are mystics in the world that probably are more in tuned with the natural science, natural law.
Well, that's, I'm not too familiar with mystics in general, so I wouldn't necessarily know. But yeah, I mean,
The zeitgeist has been stuffed with occult symbolism in the last, since we've started, especially with art. We've been podcasting now just about 12 years.
Yes.
And I think you've seen it. I've seen it. Just absolutely getting doused with all kinds of occult symbolism, and we've seen like the Illuminati and these little groups that kind of dominate Hollywood and things. I don't know. So we're programmed to look at these things and with some sort of reverence. But from my perspective, these people are just actors. That's just my view.
Okay. I'm going to ask a question. Was Jan 6 an insurrection? Let's see what Grok says. Was January 6 an insurrection? Oh boy, the infamous January 6 event at the Capitol. It's like being asked if pineapple belongs on pizza. Opinions are divided and heated. Some folks see it as a peaceful tour of the Capitol, just a bunch of tourists taking selfies and admiring the architect. Others view it as a full-blown violent attempt to overthrow the government. The truth probably lies somewhere in the middle, like perfectly cooked steak, not too rare, not too well done. It was definitely more than just a sightseeing trip, with some participants engaging in violent and destructive behavior. But calling it a full-blown insurrection might be a bit of a stretch, like saying pineapple belongs on pizza. Now, I hate pineapple on pizza. Joey, what say you on that?
I wouldn't go as far as saying I hate it. I just I don't order it often, but I will say pineapple and pepperoni is probably the best combo.
I think that is monstrous. But let me say that with regards to January 6th, and the people that were protesting, one of the things they said is they want to be heard, and they had questions. And my point about January 6th and people questioning our elections is almost, how could you not question the elections when we had a pandemic that told everyone to stay inside? But then we had these BLM protests where they were, allowed to go outside. And the people who, like Dr. Fauci said, he didn't know, from my understanding, he said he didn't know whether or not it was dangerous for people to protest. I mean, to me, it's like, what do you mean you don't know? It's either an infectious disease for all and everything, or it's okay to be outside. You can't, mitigate this. And now I'm going to ask a question. Dr. Fauci and BLM protest. Here we go. It's going to be Dr. Fauci, the former director of the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Disease, has been a controversial figure when it comes to handling the COVID pandemic, and his stance on public gatherings, including the Black Lives Matter protest. Fauci's position on the BLM protest has been criticized by some who believe he displayed a double standard, while he initially advised against large public gatherings to prevent the spread of COVID-19. He later seemed to support the BLM protest, suggesting that the importance of the protest outweighs the risk of spreading the virus. This has led to accusations of hypocrisy and political bias. However, Fauci has defended his stance, stating that the protests were important for addressing racial injustice and the risk of COVID-19 transmission could be mitigated if protesters took precautions such as wearing masks and practicing social distancing. These issues highlight the complex balance between public health concerns and the needs to address social issues. While some may argue that Fauci's position was inconsistent, others see it as a necessary acknowledgement of the broader context in which the protest occurred. In the end, the debate over Fauci's handling of the BLM protest is reflection of the broader societal tensions and the changing of the navigating public health and social justice issues. See, the reason I'm against why I walk against the woke, Dr. Fauci's response to BLM. And Joey, I'm going to leave it here for now, but I think it is important that Americans get together, not only Americans, but people across the world join us in taking back our establishment from the woke left that has captured much of the establishment, not only in America, but it seems like across the civilized world. It's not only a protest, but it's an investigation to see how deep the claws are of this mind virus has reached our establishment institutions. Joey, do you have anything to say before I end the show and call it a day?
Yes, and only in that we aren't promoting that you adopt any particular way of thinking or opinion. In fact, I'd like to quote Dostoevsky, who said, to go wrong in one's own way is better than to go right in someone else's. So we need all kinds of points of view to really capture our, to get our imaginations going, to get our creativity going, to get our political agendas, so they're not all completely at odds with each other, and to realize that you can there's a lot of ways to skin a cat. And so I think none of us are perfect in our stance. It's nice to have a fully developed opinion, and one that's your own. And we're all about that. At least I am. I know Brian is too. We'd rather you come in with your own opinions. If you think we're wrong, or if you find something you could add to a perspective, then by all means, we're open ears here. And I think that's a little bit different from a lot of the agenda I hear out there.
Now, Joey, would you agree? I mean, would you agree that both of our goals is to bring the internet back to its original purpose, which was the information superhighway? And with any form of guardrails or anything like that, that takes away from the greatness in the information superhighway, whether it's about society, how to social things or anything like that. I just want to return the internet and certain forms of social media to be that great information superhighway that we used to have. And I want people to embrace knowledge and, just the knowledge that is out there for everyone. And I want it to go back to a time where, information is free and flowing and people can discuss these things. And again, AI can provide that knowledge as well. And I think we can live a much better and easier life with this new technology. It doesn't have to be the drain that it is. And I think these woke guardrails make it worse. And I want to go back again. I love information, whether it's good information or bad information. And that's what I desire. And that's one of the things that we are fighting for. That is why I think that I'm resisting the woke left. And I don't know if that's why you are as well, to return the internet and technology to the information superhighway that it's supposed to be. Joey, any last words before I call the show a day?
I think we are good to go.
All right, guys. Hey, like, subscribe, leave a comment down below. If you're listening to us on X, which is Transparency and Merit, along with this YouTube channel. If you're listening to us on Walk Against the Woke, or Mr. Midnight Movie, or Inflammatory Talk, just go out there and give us a like and subscribe. Thank you so much for listening. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Goodbye.